34 people were killed and 78 injured when South African police opened fire on a crowd of striking miners who were armed with sticks and machetes. South African police say they were forced to fire on the miners to protect themselves. The platinum mine in Marikana, northwest of Johannesburg, has been at the centre of a violent pay dispute. Africa correspondent Ginny Stein reports.
Police warned militant miners if they did not hand over their weapons and disperse, decisive action would be taken.
What I told you is, today we are ending this matter.
But the ferocity with which South Africa's police force unleashed its firepower has stunned the nation. It's rekindled bitter memories of apartheid-era policing. For days, striking miners had camped out on a hill overlooking the Marikana platinum mine northwest of Johannesburg. A campaign of violence and intimidation had claimed the lives of 10 people, including 2 policemen and at least 2 union officials in the past week.
I was shocked because it took me right back to the 1980s, where we had the apartheid police opening fire on us as workers, and particularly during strikes, and setting dogs and using tear gas. It just recreated the 1980s. And I look at it and say, how can it happen in 18 years into our democracy? What have we done wrong?
For miners who wanted to return to work, there was no choice. The mine murders were a warning not to try.
Others are scared, others are running back home, others are just sitting here till they hear what has to go on.
For months, low-level violence has simmered amongst the miners. A turf war between militant unions at the top. At the bottom, a fight for higher wages by low-paid miners. Police have justified their actions, saying days of talks with the leaders of the 2 mining unions had broken down, leaving them no option but to disperse the militant miners with force. But old grievances remain unresolved, with new animosities now inevitable.
They don't want to give us money. Our working condition is very poor. People are dying underground. They don't report that thing.
It is part of an expectation across the country that people are resorting to violence today because they feel their voices are not being heard. They feel marginalized. So we end up with libraries burning, schools burning, and this type of murder that we're seeing, that more than 35 lives now have been lost.
The mine remains closed for now, with a heavy police presence continuing to keep watch. Ginny Stein, ABC News, Marikana Mine, South Africa.